Good evening, King Alpha.
Good evening.
I'd like to roll things back a bit. Tell me about your mother and your father. How'd they meet?
My mom and dad met in middle school, 13th Avenue. And my mother, she was going to the school already. And my pops, he was the new kid. You know, everybody was talking about him. And they met. I guess, sparks flew.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they got together and they joined the Fruit of Islam, FOI. They got married. My mom was 17, my father was 18. Had me, I was born in the first resurrection. And they was together up until I was 2. And it's like, almost like, I guess when my mother and father separated, it's like my mom's trying to find herself, so she ain't had time to be looking after the baby no more. So, that's when I started ripping. You know what I mean? But I think that's where my search for love started. Missing the love from my mom. And ever since then, I guess, I've been searching for love.
Mm. So, tell me, you really started working when you were 5 years old?
Where, yeah. Started working at Peace when I was 5. That was my first job. When we moved around Myrtle, we was on Garwood, and I used to be stealing this shit out the stores. So we had this Filipino named Carlos, and he owned one of the stores around the corner. And Carlos, he was like a husky. He was tall, you know what I mean? But he was big, fat. And I used to be ripping him. And he finally caught my little black ass, and he called me, Rocky, what are you doing? Smacked me inside the head and made me go get some boxes out the back and had to stack the shelves, and that was my second little job. You know what I mean? I used to work in the pizza parlor too, putting together the pizza boxes. I probably was around 8, 9 then, you know what I mean? So, wasn't really making no money. He would probably giving me change, you know what I'm saying? So, Big Rock, this is probably 85, I was 10. And Rock was 13, he was in Myrtle. So, you know what I mean? Him and Bart and Rico, I think they was all in the same class. I know they was in Myrtle, junior high together. You know what I mean? And Bart brought Rock across the bridge, where it was like Baghdad over that motherfucker. And they start, you know what I mean, selling weed and shit. You know what I mean? I was Rock little nigga, you know what I mean? So he come get me like, Rock, come on, we gonna go across here. Here, put this in your pants. You know what I mean? I got hella weed stuffed in pants, you know what I mean? Sitting off on a little stoop right there on Avon in Springfield by the Chinese restaurant. And shit used to be coming, you know what I mean? Rock ain't really want to pay me though back then. Yeah, Rock, you remember, you still owe me, nigga. And give me a couple dollars, you know what I mean? This nigga coming home with Mickeys, feel me? But yeah, that was like, trying to get money. I was working, but he wouldn't pay me nothing, you know what I mean? And Rock introduced me to hustling, you know? Yeah, I remember them days. It was crazy. I'll be, I'm the little nigga, you know what I'm saying? Rock, Rico, Bart, I'll be roaming with them. You know what I mean? And that was like, we used to hear Nancy Reagan talk about, say no to drugs, you know what I'm saying, when I was in elementary. And, my mom used to smoke weed back then and cigarettes, and I hated that shit. Walking through the house, clouds of smoke. I don't know, cigarettes ain't like that no more. It used to be clouds of smoke just lingering, you know what I mean? So I hated anything, drugs, smoke, cigarettes, all that shit. But yeah, Rock introduced me to that shit, and it kinda made me accept, that it wasn't that bad. I guess that's how, when I was 12 was the first time that I tried, but I didn't. I did a Bill Clinton before Bill Clinton. I mean, my man, Freddie and shit, he was wearing his mother pants. He was wearing Joy shorts. And he goes in the pocket and whip out a joint. You know what I'm saying? And I was like that shit. And he hit it. I fake hit it because I was scared in hell. I thought that shit would choke me, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't inhale. But yeah, that was my first time, I guess, trying weed, you feel me? Yeah. And then when I think about as I got older, didn't really have a spot, so we'd get some work and just pop out on the spot, try to shortstop. You know what I mean? But yeah, those was the days, man. Didn't have no bills. I could make my little money and buy some sneakers, go to the store, get some chips and juice, a sandwich.
Well, I want to thank you, and I really appreciate you sharing these stories with us.
Hey, I really like being here talking with you too, boo.